All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back. Again, it's an absolute honor to sit down with my friend Miranda Kane, fresh off her 2 year stint at BTR. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. It's been great. Second time here. Happy
I
to be
know,
here.
I love it. You're absolutely amazing, and I'm so proud of you. And I know I told you this. That whole weekend is full of emotions. And I was emotional. All this stuff that goes along with it. I'm not gonna lie, right? I actually got video of you girls pulling out for the last time for the
Mm.
last race. Was Scott doing his thing? Right, I got it. I got it all. I got it
Yep,
all. I'm about to send it to you. So,
absolutely.
yeah, it's yeah, it was an emotional weekend as always. Absolute honor to see you and all the girls, and I'm proud of I've watched your whole stint, so where you started and how far you come and progress throughout your 2 seasons. But I get a lot of questions from the ladies, right, about the whole BTR thing. So let's wind it back. For those that didn't listen for the first podcast, Miranda, I want you to start from the beginning about getting accepted. How many times did you apply for? All that good stuff, and we'll just run through your BTR seasons.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, going back to I guess day one when I first learned about the program, Trish Dahl, she's one of the OG BTR girls from back when the program first started, and she lives by me. She's like 15 minutes down the road, and we became friends when I got into track days and racing in general, and I found out about the program. I was like, that sounds like the thing for me. And so I applied. At this point, that was 4 years ago. I applied. I got to the interview portion, was not accepted. So I was like, all right, next year, gonna keep racing, keep doing my thing. Apply next year. Applied the next year. Got to the interview portion, did not get accepted. And I was like, dang, okay, like this is really competitive. Like there's a lot of people applying and there's not a lot of spots. I was like, all right, next year, keep doing my thing, keep working on my craft, like keep racing locally, keep learning as much as I can. Applied again for the third time, got accepted. Thank goodness. Yeah, and then it's kind of been a whirlwind since. So, as a lot of people know, but maybe not everybody, Royal Enfield's Build Train Race is kind of exactly what the title says. You build the bike, you train on the bike, and then you race on the bike. There's a lot more to it outside of that. But so after accepting my role as a racer, we build the bikes together. So my year we had 8 new racers, which kind of threw off the balance a little bit. Just it happens, you know. So us 8 built our bikes together, and then all 13 of us, my first year, so last year, 13 of us trained together at Crescent, and then we had our first round at Barber, and it was kind of crazy because you're like, oh my gosh, like it's actually happening. And at that point, I think it had only been 4 months of like officially being part of Build Train Race, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're already racing. And it feels like it hasn't really slowed down since, but now all of a sudden it's 2 years later and it's over. um yeah, and it's kind of crazy. I mean, the whole program itself is amazing, but yeah, that's kind of the gist on where I started and how I got to where I am. I mean, there's lots of details within there, but yeah.
Oh, for sure, it always is, But what BTR has taught you too, as well as bike maintenance and all that good stuff. For the ones that don't know, right? It teaches you so much on the background that the fans normally don't see.
Mhm.
They'd rather see all the riders and watch the mechanics work on the bike. Unless you're a gearhead like me, and then I got to stand there and watch, right? So,
Yeah.
but as far as that, you learn so much more in the friendships and the family you've built the past two
Mhm.
years at BTR, and a dream to work with Freddie Spencer. Are you kidding me right now? You
Right.
know how I geeked out hard. It was so hard for this guy right here, and I just be like, it's Freddie Spencer, la, la. Right. So I had a great conversation with him. It was, yeah. Of course, I had to start it off with, I know you hear this all the time, Freddie, but I'm a freaking super mega fan, and I started going through all his stats. He's like, I felt, yeah. He just kind of looked at me like, this dude right here is kind of a nerd, right? You know how he does, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's got
Oh,
that
yeah.
look.
Yeah.
And then he
Like a
smiled.
slight
He's like,
side eye. He's like,
"Yeah,
"Okay, alright."
okay, yeah." But what an absolute honor to sit there and have
Yeah.
that conversation with Freddie and yeah, said nothing but great things, and the whole
He's been
program's amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been amazing for the program, just like as a rider coach and just in general to be so supportive of what Royal Enfield's doing, and what us ladies are, kind of doing out there. It's he was a little emotional our last round, and it really shows that, like, that right there just tells me how much he truly cares about not only the program itself, but us as individual racers. And like he recognizes how much work and progress we've put into ourselves to get where we are. And yeah, that was kind of cool.
And Butch too as well. It was an honor to finally meet Butch in person.
Butch is a legend, absolutely. Him and Freddie go way back, but yeah, they got some crazy stories.
I know. So it was funny because I walked up to him because he kept looking at me, right? And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go introduce myself to Butch. Like I've been trying to work up to it because he's a big deal, right? So I finally walked up to him. I was like, Butch. I just messed up. I just totally
That's
murdered
okay.
your name, right? I do it from time to time, right? Everybody knows that about me. It's just expected. It's an honor to meet you. I'm Simcoe from Pin to Gas Podcast. He's like, oh, it is you. I knew I recognized you. I thought you was part of Brianna's because y'all's outfits go hand in hand, right? And I was like, yeah, she stole that from me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just absolutely kidding. Yeah, our outfits do look a lot alike, a lot of same colors
They
and all
do.
that. So yeah, I could totally see where he sees that from. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was awesome to finally meet him too. What a guy.
Yeah. No, the whole management team for Built Train Race is outstanding. It's between Freddie, Alex, Butch, and Scott. You can't really ask for a better team. They really get it done, and like kind of to the point where you just gotta show up and do the thing. Which is really, really hard to find out here, just and as big of a team that we have for them to kind of, I can imagine it's almost like herding cats. Maybe not the easiest at times.
I could only imagine. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Ladies. Okay, I'm not even talking. Nobody's listening. I need the megaphone still. It's like,
Right.
okay, I need to take a different approach, right? Yeah, it's but a lot of the people, they also don't know that when everybody shows up on that Wednesday or Thursday, you guys are also help put everything together, the flooring, the
Oh yeah,
tents,
yeah,
the
yeah.
whole setup, everything.
Yeah, we do it all. So yeah, team typically, we do our travel days on Wednesdays and Mondays. And Wednesdays we all show up to the hotel, take it an easy day, and then it's a pretty early start. With us being on first or second row, and so we're at the paddock and we're unloading the truck. We unload the bikes. Mechanics are there as extra hands, but we do it. It's up to us, to get our stuff sorted. And it we work as a team, like in and out of the paddock. So yeah, unloading the whole semi, organizing all the bikes, making sure that shit's where it's supposed to be. That's on us. And if stuff doesn't get pulled out, like, it just makes it harder throughout the weekend. And so we really kind of build up a system, you could say. At the start of the year, I created like a map or a layout of our paddock space. Be like, hey, ladies, reference this. This is where we want stuff. Like, this is where things go. This is where they belong. Like, I labeled it all. Tried to do it to size, but my sheet was kind of not big enough. But so it's like little things like that that make the whole process itself easier. And then obviously by the end of the year, we all got it down pat. But come next year, there's going to be half the new girls. And so it's the whole process over of half the ladies don't know what's going on yet and they got to learn. And so just making sure that the repetitions are there so that it gets easier and easier. That's really what it comes down to.
Absolutely, it does. And I got to get to this comment. So we all know this guy right here, Tommy. What is up, my man? How you doing? He says, "Hey, it's my favorite BTR racer. Let's go." Well, I hope so,
Don't
my
let him
friend.
lie.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Tommy. Who is your favorite for real?
I think it's probably Cassie or Kate.
All
Cassie
right,
or
all
Kate.
right,
No.
all right, all right. There you go. Right. And then, of course, the legend himself, Mr. Luca Allen, bro. What is up, mate? How you doing back over there in the UK? Probably flat out. No, he's not at work right now. So maybe are
No,
you
not
at
at
work?
this time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. So what's going on, Luca? Can't wait to see you back, man. Heal up, mate. For sure. And then we got Joe. He says, "New fan here. What is going on?" He says, "It'd be cool." All right, hang on. I got something blocking it. Somebody. Uh, it'd be cool if you talk about the process for each year. How do they determine who stays?
Yeah, for sure. I can comment on that. So it's typically a 2-year contract. So it's usually, if it's your first year, you come back the next year. And if it's your second year, it's kind of, you're done. We haven't had anybody on the road racing side come back for a third year. Um, just it creates more space for more women to come into the program. As much as I'd love to stay on forever and ever and ever and ever, it's just not quite what the program is about. It's constantly bringing in more people into the sport, and yeah, it's pretty great how the program's set up. I can't argue with a 2-year contract, especially at that level. But yeah, that's typically how it's broken down. It's just 2 years.
Yeah, and what an amazing 2 years. One question I have for you going into the last weekend, last race, into your 2 year adventure. I'm sure the emotions and the feelings were high. Absolutely right. But was it kind of similar to going into your first race at BTR? Because then going first time with the girls on TV with Freddie Spencer, like, what is this really happening? You got to be kidding me right now, right? So
You know,
go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, no, I was gonna say, now that you say that and I actually think about it, I would say yeah, because the stress level going into race one was pretty high. Just the amount of pressure that I felt being in the nationals, first time race there. Hadn't actually raced at Barber. I did a track day at that point. I think it had been a month and a half prior. Just kind of nervous. We haven't really put the bikes at that level with our riding. We did the training sessions, but as most people know, like, training and track days is a very different vibe than actual racing. So yeah, very, very nervous going into race one with just the amount of pressure that I felt on myself to perform. And kind of the same thing into the last race. There was a lot kind of laying on the line for the championship going into the last race, especially with how race one went. And so Sunday morning, I was not my usual happy chipper self. I was very kind of inward and kind of reflecting on like what I needed to do and how I needed to get it done. And fortunately, it did work out for me. But the stress levels were at an all-time high, and I had commented multiple times that I don't think I had ever been more stressed for a race. So apparently, it sometimes works, but yeah, I do not recommend.
I can only imagine the emotions and the stress that goes on because yeah, you were absolutely part running for that championship. It was yeah, yeah, it's I've never been in that situation, but I could tell the energy and the aura around that weekend at
Hmm.
VIR was different than it is, seeing you girls at other events and races at Moto America.
Hmm.
Because for half of you girls, that was it. It was
Hmm.
the end, and three of you girls were in for the championship, and it was just
Four of us.
yeah. That's yes, that's right. So it was just whole, just hey,
Yeah,
proper mega ball of energy is what it was, because
exactly.
and there were so many just ways to different layers, and it was never a bad vibe at all. It was just
No.
it was very happy, but at the same time, like nobody wanted the weekend to end, and I didn't either. Right? They just wanted the time to slow down like this much, and
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah, for sure.
yeah, yeah. So let's talk about the doors opened up for you since you've been at BTR. Now, obviously, you work for good friends of mine too, CW Moto, which is the super sport team in Moto America, and they actually have Luke Allen on their team too as well. So,
Hmm.
tell again, it's a questions that a lot of the ladies been reaching out asking, what jobs do you girls end up doing in the paddock or what wherever else
Yeah.
the path leads. So tell everybody how all that happened.
Yeah. So for me specifically with CW Moto, Chris Lobkovich was one of the mechanics for Bill Train Race last year. And that's actually how I met him. He ended up being my mechanic because BTR splits up the girls. So you kind of have one person you can go to if you need assistance or just need an extra set of hands.
That's why
Um,
you better be his best friend for sure, right? You'd be like, I'm not doing it. You know how you just talked to me the other day? Not having it. Please,
exactly.
I'm sorry, please. Nope.
Yeah, you got to treat your mechanics good. But yeah, so Chris ended up being kind of someone that I went to quite a bit just for guidance and for adjustments on the bike, and we hit it off. He liked, I think, he liked my work ethic, and just kind of how I handled myself, and ended up asking me to join their team. So I am the race what is it? The director of race operations for CW Moto. So I do a lot of the logistics around the race weekends, registrations, swag, parts ordering. Very rarely do I actually put hands on the bike because we thankfully have a awesome group of mechanics that do that part for the race weekends. So I kind of do a little bit of herding, herding the cats with Luca as a rider, make sure he's where he needs to be, and staying hydrated, that whole thing. So it's a lot of small things here and there, but it's all things that kind of need to be done. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now and where I'm headed towards in the future. But just in general, where like some of the other women can go or have gone. Some people continue to race their Enfields with their local clubs, which is really freaking cool in my opinion. I would love to continue to race mine. I don't know how often I will, just because I'm really scared of actually wrecking it, because I want to keep it perfect forever. Um, but so yeah, some people continue to race them. Some people move on to other like teams or other classes like Twins Cup. I think last year Michaela joined the international games for that round that they had. And so it's cool things like that, where we kind of, like you mentioned, the doors kind of open. So there's things out there. Like if you want to stay in the paddock, there is plenty of space. There's plenty of us that are doing just jobs within teams or jobs within the paddock with Moto America. And then there's other people that have, continued their own personal journey with racing um, outside of Moto America. And, it's kind of whatever your cup of tea is, you can continue to do it.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Absolutely. So going into CW Moto, doing that job you just said, defense mechanism coordinator, travel agent, hurting Luca Allen, make sure he don't get in trouble, which is a full-time job in itself.
Absolutely.
Going into that, was that something totally different than you've ever done before?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So before that, I was I can't even remember. No, I was I did a lot with like the trucking industry, so I did a lot of registrations and licensing, and this is kind of just like an office job, a lot of paper pushing. I didn't actually have hands on the trucks. And then for a short time, I was a dispatcher manager, so I managed 12 trucks and the drivers for a company, and basically just routed their routes for each day every day, and it was brutal. And while the benefits were nice and good, it was not what I enjoyed or really saw myself doing. And so when this opportunity with CW popped up, I was really stoked and really excited, and also very scared just because I didn't have, years of experience doing it. And while I can learn, which I have been doing, it's still scary making that jump. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
100%. And again, what I took most out of that whole conversation me and you just had is following Luke Allen around, making sure he don't get into trouble. Not just playing, because I know that's a job
Yeah.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious. Well, good. It's awesome, amazing. It's always good to see you out there in the paddock, and it's good that you're still in it, doing what you love to do. Now you get to watch next year, the ladies' first year in, and the other ladies their second year in, and how far they progressed, just like you did.
Mm-hmm.
Who was your biggest challenger out of your 2 years at BTR? Like who pushed you the most? Not even on the track, but also mentally outside the track.
Ooh, that's a tough question.
She's like, you
There's
put me on the spot.
no, there's a lot of individuals that just like into the program itself like push you to be your best. But I think like maybe a constant where she kind of covered both sides would maybe be Emma Betters. So last year she was a competitor, and she definitely pushed me. She was someone that I um, like we hit it off, and we were good friends from the start. And like she rode the Enfields so well and was very competitive. And I was like, okay, like she's someone that I want to be like. Like she's someone that I, can work towards being hopefully better at some point, because that's the goal, right? To beat
Yeah.
everyone out there. um, and then this year she actually came back as a mechanic, and she ended up being my mechanic this year. And so coming in from track, doing a debrief with her and just like going over things and figuring out ways of where I can find time and push myself, and she was really good for that too. And so like kind of like a duality there of being able to push me on track last year as I'm learning so much, and then this year to like continue to push me to better myself. Like that was extremely cool to have her back on the team, and I hope she never leaves because she's the best.
She is. Emma's absolutely. The first time I met her was at Cycle Jam
Oh, really?
at Road Atlanta. Yeah, this year. Well, we've been talking on social, going back and forth.
Hmm.
I caught her in the paddock. I was like, I got you. I got you now. I found you, right? Running. Ah, no. She's like, oh shit, I'm gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome, especially one question I have for you, the 2 years you've been in the program, obviously all you girls are absolutely friends and absolutely amazing. But when you
Mhm.
get on track, it's that killer when the shield goes down and it's ready for
Game
war,
over.
right? Game over, right? How do you separate the two? Is it easy for you to do? Because some people are good at it, some people can do it, some people just have a hard time struggling with it right here, right? It's like you meet somebody, it's the beginning of the year, kind of friends, and you meet and you laugh, and then you get on track and you're like, I'm gonna beat everybody. That's it. I don't, it's
Yeah, that's actually something that I've struggled with learning. I've been told from several people several different times that I'm too nice on track. But one way that Scott, the team manager, kind of put it is during qualifying, we make passes respectfully and safely. During races, we make passes safely. And that's one way. Like you can still be out there and still have the time of your life and still try to win and not be disrespectful about it or even unsafe about it. So like it's not too hard to not cross that line, at least for me, because we're all out there to do the same thing. We're all out there to race. We're here for the same reason. There's no misconstrued like I'm just here to have fun, because ultimately that's not what the program's about. It's a very serious program, and we're doing some pretty gnarly things. Um, and so that part of it is pretty simple. But then coming back in, everyone's cheering for everybody else, everyone's supporting everybody else. And so if something happens off track, having the ability to be like, hey, dude, that wasn't very cool. Let's maybe not do that again. And then like being able to move on, like 100%, like that's how you're able to do that. Still be friends and still be able to race each other. Like once the helmet goes on, once the light goes out, like, yeah, game over. Like we're out there to win, but we're not out there to like kill each other. So yeah.
she's like, there's always a yin to a yang. I just love everybody. Bubbles for everybody. I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's you're a fierce competitor. I don't know what you're talking about. You're absolutely fierce out there on the track.
I'm
It's
learning.
Yeah. Hey, it's all part of the game. It's all mental. A lot of it. So yeah, it's hard not to be nice. I love everybody, and I like to be nice to everybody too. So I feel you on
Hmm.
that. I
Yeah.
I get you 100%. I get you on that. So yeah, and over the past 2 years, you learned a lot. What was and since it's over with, your standout race the past 2 years? Your favorite race you did?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I man, I might just have to say this last the race 2 at Virginia. Um, I I set the lap record. So I set the lap record in race 1 on Saturday, and then I beat that lap record by a second, 1.2 seconds. Um, so that's pretty crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's really cool. But also just like having that secure my spot second in the championship. I was terrified that whole race. I thought Camille was behind me the whole time. And uh, so it just being able to kind of like it was almost like accumulation of all the work that I've put in is just being able to come out and do the thing and move past the stress of like going into that race and having reaped the rewards. So yeah, I might just have to go with that one just because setting a lap record is pretty freaking cool. So we'll see how long it lasts.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you got to be proud of yourself. I told you, all you girls out there, be proud of yourself because we all are. Absolutely. Um, yeah. And again, the emotions after the race is done. Did you feel like the weight of the world was kind of off your shoulders at that point?
Yeah, it felt
Far away?
yeah, um it's kind of like I don't know how to describe it. Like it didn't feel quite real. It felt um like it felt like we were still racing. Like it wasn't over yet. And Camille and I talked about this a little bit and the way she described it made perfect sense, but she said it's almost like the really loud silence after like a loud noise happens. She's like it's kind of like it kind of feels like we're in that time of like the loud silence and like things are still happening but it's just like felt different and 100% it was weird. It was cool but it didn't feel. I don't think it's actually settled in that it's over. I have the bike in my garage but no, I'm gonna go racing. What are you talking about? Like it's not over yet. Yeah.
Yeah. I could imagine. And the cool thing is, you girls get to keep the bikes, right? Like, that's
Hmm.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
Good
for sure.
stuff. So, what was your biggest takeaway out of the BTR program?
How much I didn't know. Yeah, going into the program, I kind of prided myself on doing as much as my own work as I could. I depended on a lot of people for a lot of help, just like to teach me, but I always wanted to be involved. And then getting into this program, it's very eye-opening how much you don't actually know. And then it's also very eye-opening, like how much extra it takes to be a professional racer. It's not just on the track. That's not the only part that makes you be a professional racer. It's everything that you do in between. And so learning that is a lot in itself. And so I think just being able to absorb as much information and make as many connections as you can, and obviously do the job of showing up and racing, like that's the biggest takeaway is just like always learning, always absorbing information, always being open to feedback. Like that is the key to the castle.
Facts, right? Yeah, absolutely. So, what's next for you in your racing career?
This year I'm gonna finish out the club races here locally in Minnesota. Um, Probably do a few track days, but outside of that, I don't have anything lined up yet. So there's a couple talks happening, but nothing secure, nothing to really talk about yet. So um, we'll see. Hopefully something fun.
I love it. I love it. I would, yeah, be, yeah, that's cool because you got a job and you can still continue to race and still work on a race team.
Yeah,
How's that?
absolutely.
How's that gonna work?
Probably the same way I work now.
Oh my god, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, a lot of the work that I do is kind of like the pre-race round stuff. Because like I said, I don't really touch the bike at the track, but we have an awesome group of people that do that, and Luca is competent enough. He doesn't need me as a babysitter. He just prefers it. And so, just making sure that the team's set up for success before we get to the races is really what it's all about. And so that can all be done with me racing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was funny because I brought Chris and his wife, which are absolutely amazing, 4 bags of Utz potato chips to the track
I
on
heard.
Sunday. Yeah. Set them on the table. They wasn't there when I pulled up. So I said, I'm just going to leave these right here.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah,
see them for
yeah,
sure. Right. Yeah.
absolutely.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you see a different side of doing what you're doing now for a
Hmm.
race team. So you see a different side of the races, so to
Yeah.
speak, like the behind the scenes that nobody
Hmm.
sees.
Yeah. Yeah, that in itself is pretty eye-opening. With BTR, we see a number of the behind the scenes things. Obviously, we don't get the nitty-gritty of the sponsor talks and the parts acquisitions and negotiating what tracks we're going to or anything like that. We don't see that side of things. But joining CW, like you said, it's the behind the scenes, the very not glamorous side of racing that goes on, and that everyone deals with to do what we're doing. So that's it's cool.
I bet it is. It's different, right? Because it's just different. It's the same beautiful circus, just you're
Hmm.
behind the scenes in a beautiful circus. I
Yeah,
see you. Ha ha.
exactly.
Being the celebrity you are at BTR, and you got a lot of fans. What was that like? Tell everybody this. The when the first person that come up to you and say, "Can I get a picture or an autograph?" You was probably like, "What me? You kidding me?"
Yeah. Um, going into the program, you're a little aware of how much influence the program itself has on young fans out there and women and men in general, just fans in general. You have a fairly good idea just because obviously you yourself are typically a fan. So you kind of have a pretty good sense of what's going on. But actually being there, seeing the line of people waiting for signatures, the people that are showing up at 8 a.m. at the racetrack, and I'm still rubbing sleep out of my eyes, plugging in my tire warmers for our 8:30 session. No, it's not that early. But it's things like that when they're so enthusiastic to talk to you, and it's like, holy guacamole, like, oh my gosh, like this is quite a bit. And I think the first time I was like, oh yay, the first fan, and then like even just the last one, I was like, oh yay, a fan. Yes, it's always that, and it's kind of um odd.
Surreal.
Yeah, surreal, especially if people like recognize you or like know information, or, like even just your finishes. Like there's a lot of racers out there, and that's a lot of information to keep track of. And for people to come up to me be like, hey, nice job at your first and third finish at Road America, like great job, that was really cool. I'd be like, dang, okay, all right, cool, cool, all right, yeah. Even at the Ridge, there was a young girl that came up. She was probably the first fan on Sunday, and she came up right to me, and she had a whole booklet of all of our posters from last year, and she opened up mine and she was like, you signed my poster last year. And I was like, oh my goodness, like that is so neat. And it's just like being able to see things like that where like you kind of make fans for life, and they're just as excited to see you as you're excited to see them, and that's really cool. And she was such a sweetheart.
Think about the lives you changed and the impacts you made on them too as well, right?
Yeah,
They're probably at home
exactly.
like, I want a dirt bike, daddy. I want to do what she does. Let's go, right? So you, again, you never know, and the impact. That's the biggest takeaway from it is the impact you made on every fan that come up to you, approach you, men, women, child alike, all of them.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's
100%.
yeah, absolute. So are you proud of yourself? You should be, girl. Let's go. Yes, yes, right. I know it's over, and well, it's not over. It's never over. Just the BTR 2 year thing. So let me ask you this. We'll put you in the hot seat right now.
Oh no.
You know what I'm gonna ask you?
What's up?
Who's your pick next year?
My pick?
A BTR of the women that are staying.
Ooh, that's tough.
I know.
They all have so much grit and determination. And I see a bit of myself reflected in all of them, of just like learning how these bikes work. They handle like really no other bike that you're gonna ride. And so being able to learn information from, riding, say, a Ninja 400 or an R6, or whatever your normal bike is, and then trying to apply that to the Enfield, it only works to a certain level because the bikes are just that much different, and they're so much fun, but it's just this different kind of riding style in a sense. Like, they move around on you quite a bit, and like there's a lot of knowledge and experience that comes in with trying to set up suspension. And so like K-Tech, they've been a super awesome partner for the program, and they come into the pits like all day. They're in and out, like they're helping us out throughout the session. But it's like having the verbiage to communicate what you're feeling, and recognizing, like, this was something I struggled with, but just recognizing, like, is this something that I can fix, or is it me? A lot of times I was like, it's me, 100%, it's me.
And I can't fix me, so boo.
Right. And so, just like seeing how much the ladies learned just this year, and how much they're going to learn next year, and how much, like, they're all so hungry. I don't know if I could choose someone. That is, oh man.
Well, you've ridden with them and you know better than me, right?
I
So
know.
know
This last round at Virginia, Brianna Everett really showed up and really gave me a run for my
she
money.
did.
She
Absolutely.
did. And um Tachi, she came out of nowhere. Not even out of nowhere. It's like from the start, I was like, okay, all right. That's the thing. They're all so, I can't answer that. I plead the fifth.
That's the first time I ever did that on my show. I plead the fifth. I'm pulling it right now. Mic drop. Boom. That's okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Again, I love watching the girls when they first start, and then seeing their progression from race to race, and especially at the end of the year of the
Yeah.
2 years, how much faster they got, how much more confidence you have, how much harder you're pushing the bike, and the better knowledge you have. You show up at the end or towards the end, it's like everything's done. You're just relaxing, chilling because everything's already checked, and
Yeah.
there's a lot that's to be said about all that. So
Hmm.
yeah, I just figured I'd put you on the spot and ask you, who's the biggest threat next year then?
Oh man. I'm gonna say Brianna or the Brazilian. You'll have to figure out which one I mean. Because
I
there's two
love it.
Briannas and
I
two
know. I,
Brazilians.
I'm well aware. I'm well aware. Yeah, it was funny because I had Brianna Everett on, and right before we went live, I called her Brianna Cutler, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry, I messed up." I was like, "There's too many Briannas. I'm sorry. I'm just a man. Please forgive me. Please forgive me."
No
Well,
excuse. No, just
yeah,
kidding.
won't do it again. Right? Yeah. So I try. I'm just me. Right? That's
No,
yeah. But
exactly.
yeah, it's again, the friendships and the family you met
Absolutely.
and the people you're going to stay in contact with. Did you girls plan a big get together somewhere sometime in the near future?
We actually had it. Well, so after Virginia, us second years kind of had a whole big party. We rented a big Airbnb and just kind of hung out, like took a couple days and just chilled. Which was really fun. It was really cool. Just like being in each other's company without like the added excitement of a race weekend. You find out if you really like each other. Turns out we do.
This is a fact, right? Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no, we did kind of do that as like a little like thank you to each other after our 2 years. But I do know a number of us are trying to get down to the Barber Vintage Fest with Arma. because ARMA sets up a class that the Enfields can run in. So hopefully that turns out to be like a whole multi-year reunion, because that'd be absolutely awesome.
Be legit, yes.
Yeah, but I know a number of us are gonna try and get down there.
When is that taking place at Barber? It's in October, ain't it?
Yeah, it's like the weekend after New Jersey.
Oh shit, it is, ain't it? September.
Yeah,
So it's the first weekend of October.
that sounds right.
Yeah, the Vintage Fest. That's what I've never been to Barber. Everybody tells me, dude, you need to go for Vintage Fest. Forget Moto America, go for Vintage Fest.
I've
So they
heard
tell me.
it's huge. So yeah.
Same thing with Mid Ohio, saying, everybody tells me I need to go there.
Yeah.
It'd be
Mm-hmm.
yeah, absolutely proper mega time for sure. So we got Amy. We had Amy. Now we got her again. Here we go. Amy. She says, welcome to the show, Amy. Miranda is such an inspiration. Yes, she
Oh,
is.
thank you, Amy.
Yes, she is. And then we got Civilio. I hope I said that right. Uh,
Sylvia.
thank you, Miranda. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm so sorry. I murder people's name. Ask Miranda. She hears me all the time. I murder people's names, and I'm sorry. Okay. She said, thank you. She said she is awesome, and I'm looking forward to watching her in future races in the race, her grand uncle Peter Jones.
Yeah, so my granduncle, who's Peter Jones, and I are going to do an endurance race together. So Peter, he used to race AMA back in the 90s. And we went on track together up in Canada with Aprilia at what is that? Shannonville, which is a very nice track. Not actually. Not actually. It's very bumpy. I think there was grass growing across the front straight. Like that. Very Canadian, I think. Don't hate me, Holly. So that was like, I think that was his first time on track in like a decade. And so that was actually really special. So we planned to do an endurance race, and so we will be racing on a RS457, an Aprilia RS457, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty neat.
I
But yeah,
love it. I love it. That's freaking awesome.
yeah, I'm super excited for
Yeah,
that.
that's and Joe says, and I'm a friend of Peter's. So yeah,
He's
let's
a popular
go.
guy.
Yeah, he actually said, I saw you at VIR. Great.
Yeah,
Yeah, everybody did. Yeah, it was awesome. It was, man, what a proper mega weekend it was at
absolutely.
VIR. It was kind of crazy weather there at the beginning, but as the weekend
Yeah,
progressed, it was
I'm so thankful that it cooled off.
so let me ask you this question. Being out there on the track and racing when it's mixed conditions, is that something you're comfortable in? Are you learned to be kind of comfortable in, or
Yeah, I don't really let me clarify. Off of the Enfield, I'm fine in the wet. I don't know why, but on the Enfield, and I assume it's just because I rode America, I ended up crashing first lap out in the wet. It was our first session on the whatever. And I'm not super comfortable on the Enfield when it's raining. Dry, no issue. A little cold, no issue. But the wet, I think just mentally I'm a little freaked out from Road America. It's kind of a stupid crash. But yeah, other than that, like yeah, back home in Brainerd, it rains quite a bit. And you have the setup, you get the rain tires, like you put them on, like it's really no big deal. Like it's just a different style of riding, and just being aware of that is really what it comes down to. But yeah, I don't know. It's fun. It kind of slows everything down.
much more
Pushing as
calm?
hard.
I
Yeah,
bet.
yeah.
And I bet that last race at VR, you probably didn't even breathe the whole race.
No, actually, I think I was maybe hyperventilating. I swear, I heard a bike behind me in turn 4B on that last lap, and I thought I was done for. I thought I was losing the race. So I was like, oh my god, here we go, it's over. Turns out there was not someone behind me, but it helped.
Mind playing tricks on you during that race for
Yeah,
sure.
Yep.
And look who we got here. Another legend, Brianna Everett. What is up? Your answers were awesome. I fully expect Brianna or one of the Brazilians to stuff me in turn one next year.
Hey, hold your line. Hold
That's
your
it.
line.
Hold tight. Yeah. Yeah, you got this, Brianna. 100%. No thing. You got it. Yeah. Awesome. So over the past 2 years, what was your did you have a track that you showed up to that you really didn't like that ended up being one of your favorites?
um, mm, I was nervous for Mid Ohio last year, and actually Virginia this year too. Mid Ohio last year, I did a track day the Monday before, and just wasn't really feeling it. It didn't feel that great. Like I was going around the track fine, but it didn't really click. And so I was kind of nervous going into the race. And went out there on the infield, and I was like, oh, this is way better. Don't know why, but it's way better. And maybe it's just like the little extra seat time. Um, could have been some data review that I did that just, helped me kind of fit the puzzle pieces together a little bit better. And then kind of a similar thing with Virginia this year. I had done a track day in March. I think it was 47 degrees during the riders meeting. It was pretty chilly. And wasn't running warmers or anything on that. I was on some slicks. It was a rented bike, so it wasn't quite set up for me. Um, Shout out to Lean Machines. They are great. But it wasn't my bike. I didn't feel comfortable completely pushing it. I actually ended up crashing, which was not very confidence inspiring. And then also it being the last race. And so just going into that, not having a fresh mind on the track and not ending it on like a super good note. And then also it kind of reflected in my qualifying. I did not qualify well at all. I was seconds off my race pace, and then come into race one, I was like, we'll see what happens. I don't know. Turns out it was fine. I did okay. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of both end of year races, and maybe it's just a little bit of the stress that kind of goes into like this is the end of the year kind of thing. But yeah, going into the weekend, I was not super pumped. Ending the weekend, I was pretty pumped.
That says a lot. I talk about the whole mental side of racing and all that, and you said it. When you have an accident, you do a track day before the race weekend, or
Yeah.
a month's away, you have a bad sort of vibe to it. So, how do you personally overcome that barrier mentally to get out there and just did you just suit up and was like, you know what, it is what it is. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, for the most part, I do my best to go back out on the track as soon as I can after a crash. So when I did the track day at Virginia earlier this year, I helped put the bike back together. He was cool with me going back out. He encouraged me to go back out if I wanted to, and I absolutely did. So threw it back together. There wasn't like it was a really slow low side. And I finished off the day, and while I took it easier, that itself helps me go back out there, get past that spot that I crashed, and kind of like relearn it. I did the same thing at Chuckwalla. Ended up crashing, put the bike back together, made it out for my next race, and it was fine. Like, yeah, that corner is still I'm still a little like, oh, this is where I crashed. It doesn't like freak me out, but it's just like mentally noted, like that's where you lost the front. Oh, that right there. You went off the track. Same thing at Road America at turn 5. I was like, yeah, I don't like this spot in the wet. In the dry, completely fine, did not bug me. But in the wet, I was like, nope, don't want to do it. Don't want to be here. And so for me, it's just being able to get back out there, kind of clear the air a little bit, and then it's just more of a sense of like, oh yeah, I've crashed here before. It sucks. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, listen, this has been a proper mega time as always. I appreciate you coming back on here, sitting down with me. We will definitely do it again. Your
Absolutely.
journey's been absolutely amazing. And again, I can't stress enough how proud I am of you and everything you achieved your past 2 seasons.
Thanks.
And like I told, some of my other girlfriends at BTR, we always have a vision and a goal, whatever it ends up being. Sometimes the monkey wrench comes into play and it just don't always work out in your favor, right?
Hmm.
But don't look at it like that. Look at the journey It's not about the destination. It's about the journey, right? In those 2 years, what advice could you give to the women that are applying right now besides keep applying? Because I keep saying it too, right? Yes, keep applying all the time. Just apply. But what advice if they do get accepted when, excuse me, let me rewind that back. When they do get accepted, um, what advice could you give to them going in into their 2 years, maybe to help them out a little bit?
Yeah, I would say be yourself. You know, this program's not necessarily about track times themselves or your experience itself on track, but it's also about you as a person. You know, it's obviously you're applying to the program because you support it and you want to be in it, and like showing that enthusiasm and showing that want, like that's what it's all about. You know, we're all here for the same thing, to get better and to continue our journey, as Chris was saying. So yeah, just be yourself and do the thing. Apply.
I love it. Do the
Yeah.
thing. That's going to be the name of this episode. Do the thing, because you don't. You said it a lot. Do the thing. I just
Yeah.
do the thing. That's Miranda Kane saying right there. Do the
Yeah.
thing. It's the name of this episode. Yeah. So listen, Miranda, absolute honor again. Let's see. Tommy says, "Great pod, you guys. Thank you, Tommy. Absolute honor to have
You're
Miranda
so
on the
welcome,
podcast."
Tom. No
Yes, and
problem.
Tommy, you're welcome. Yes, thank you, thank you. It's been 52 minutes of your life that
Yeah.
you absolutely enjoyed. So nothing but love to you. I love it. Oh my god. And then Jamari, great job, Miranda, on not giving up and doing so well. That's right. So Jamari's a friend of mine. She's out there in Florida,
Thank
races
you.
SFL Mini. And
I hope
yeah,
she's applying.
yeah, that's hey, I tell them all the time, keep applying. I don't care if you get turned
Absolutely.
down 20 times, keep applying.
I
Let's
applied for
go.
3 years. It took me 3 years, and it was me constantly trying to improve myself in between those applications. And I still improved exponentially after accepting. So doesn't matter where you are in your journey.
The facts, the hardest part I think is people get discouraged really easy when that on that initial turn down. But listen, you gotta want it. You really gotta want to
Absolutely.
do it, and just keep applying and you will get in. Eventually you will get in and you'll be part of the BTR family. And then, yeah, we'll get to hear your stories and all that good stuff too, as well. So I'm going to let Miranda end this. But before I do, like I said all the time, thank you guys and girls so much for watching this podcast. I love each and each and every single one of you guys and girls out there. Because if it wasn't for Miranda and everybody else coming on here, I would not be able to do this. So thank you to everybody. If you had not yet, hit the ding dongs, the TikToks, all that good. Subscribe. Blah, 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 blah. You guys know the deal and the routine, right? It helps me out a lot. Believe me, it does. No, I do not get paid to do this. I don't, but I love it, right? That's why I do it. So, and you guys know for my son and all that stuff. But anyway, listen, big shout out to Next Level Financial, Chef Eats, TST Industries. Everybody asks me all the time, where do I get my beanie hats and that soft shell jacket I got? You guys and girls can go to clothingkings.co.uk. There's a partnership button at the top of the screen. Hit it, scroll down, and bam, there you go. Order all the merch you want. It's really cheap too. It's absolutely amazing. Everybody's always trying to steal my jacket and my beanie hat every time. That's why I'm afraid to leave it somewhere. That's why when I left it at CW, I put it on a chair and put it around the back of the corner right here. I was like, it's my only one I got, right? Like, yes, and I could order me another one too as well. I think it was only like $60.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
that's what I said. Anyway, shout out to SFL Mini GP. That's where all the future legends that's coming into Moto America. Listen, it's imperative that we have these programs set in place. And what they are doing, whether you're in Jersey or South Florida or Apex out there in California, and the many other ones across the whole beautiful, not just United States, but the world, keep doing what you're doing. But for those of you that are here on the East Coast, you guys go to miniusasbk.com. Sign up and register. The best part is you just show up. You don't need nothing. They provide the bikes, the leathers, the boots, the gloves, and you can even rent bikes, right? So that's absolutely amazing. And that's the reason why I focus too on getting a lot of the future and the kids on the podcast and turn on getting their parents on the podcast so that when they listen to it or people listen to it or their friends, they're like, well, that's how they did it. I want to do it. Let's go, and then boom, just let's grow the sport, people. We need it. Like I said, Miranda, when we're at VIR, if you took everybody in that paddock right now that's 25 years old and older out, who are we left with? There's not a whole
Right.
lot of kids there, right?
Yeah.
So we need kids in the sport. Parents go out, buy that dirt bike, forget the four wheeler, get them on them twos. It'll change their life. Ask Miranda and everybody else that's been on here, not just my podcast, but just go up to any motorcyclist. They'll tell you. Um, Big shout out to RD Racing and my mate Jake Marsh out there in the UK. I got two friends that make undersuits, and you're not going to go wrong by ordering from either one of them. And the first one is 64 Degree Racing. Tate is absolutely amazing. He sent me two custom undersuits, and they're hands down by far my favorite undersuits. And I got a lot of undersuits. My recommendation to Miranda, this is something we learn when we start getting serious about track days and racing. Don't go to the track with just one undersuit. Matter of fact,
Oh,
bring more undersuits than you do clothes. You can always wear an undersuit home. No problem with a pair of basketball shorts. You're good to go. Boom, problem solved, right? So, but bring plenty more. Bring them like you're going to hand them out to people. Bring them. Yes,
yeah.
absolutely bring them. And the second one is my girl, Mama Aliki at venomsport.com. Absolutely amazing. That's where I got this shirt from. She actually sent my wife one too. So nothing but love to Aliki and Venom and 64 Degree Racing. And on that note, for all my friends out there in California on the West Coast that races CRA, you guys can go to Racer 411, Racers Helping Racers, sign up for their program. It's absolutely amazing. The website is Racer 411 at race/cra.com. Let's freaking go. Big shout out to Road Racing World. First thing I want to say is all our corner marshal workers. Thank you so much. We love you so much. It's because of you and the air fences that we're able to show up to these. Of course, the ambulance. We can't forget about that. That we're able to show up
Hmm.
and have fun at the track and race and be competitive or just be a fan and come up and enjoy the races. A big shout out to all the corner marshals. And yes, you can show up and be a corner marshal worker too. I don't have the website right here. I need to write it down, but get in touch with me. I'll send you in the right direction. I promise. Right. But, and I need everybody to go to roadracingworld.com and donate to that air fence. $5, $10, $100, whatever you can afford. Thank you so much. Trust
Hmm.
me. We need it because when a race hits that thing, and it deflates, they need to immediately put one in place. Guess what? If they don't have that there, guess what's going to happen? Race is done. That's it. We're going home. We don't want to go home. So put up
No.
that 5, that 10, that 20, whatever it is. Let's go and thank you. Big shout out to, of course, again, BTR. Absolutely the best program in Moto America. It's absolutely proper, mega, and amazing. Yeah, I've had a lot of the girls on here. You guys and girls hear all the stories, right? So listen, if you're signing, just keep applying. You got it. You'll eventually get in. But you got to wait till next year. No, you got better start applying now, right?
They haven't opened the applications just yet for 26. So I'm sure it will be announced when the applications open and what the deadline is. But keep an eye out.
So for those that don't know, tell them where to go to look out on social media. Just BTR.
It is build.train.race. I think. Yeah.
B.T.R. Let's go. There
No,
you
no,
go.
no.
Da,
Like
da,
the
da, da.
actual words.
Oh,
Build
okay. Build train race. Build dot train dot.
race. Dot. Let me
I was
double
waiting. I was waiting on you to say it. I was like, was she gonna say this or I gotta say it?
check. Oh, build.train.race. No third dot. Build train race
There you guys go.
on
Well,
Instagram.
listen, go sign up. Quit. Just listen to me. Pull out your phone right now and do it. Like, well,
Yeah.
what are you waiting on? Right? Just at
Yeah.
least follow that way and get the notification. That way,
Hmm.
you'll stay in that loopy thing and you'll be good. So, uh, big, big shout out to KYT Helmets, K Tech Suspension, Ghetto Customs. Again, I got 3 people that make graphics in the industry. You're not going to go wrong by ordering from any one of them. The first one is Dripping Wet. The second one is my boy Reese at REB Graphics. And the third one is Gus Rodeo at GRG Designs. Again, you're not going to go wrong from ordering from any one of those.
I
So
need some new number plates. So
I just gave you 3.
there you go.
You could choose from any 3 of them. Just I'll send you all 3 of them, and you can just any, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by its toe. Remember that game? Yeah, let's go. Big shout out to Woodcraft, Mark 10 Motorsports, Free Hugs Racing, Nicole Polyage Photography, Stick Boy Racing, Adrenaline Engineer, Pit Lane Moto, and of course CW Moto, baby. Let's go. And if you or anybody that's been in a wreck, maybe been paralyzed and maybe lost a limb, you can still get out there and get on the track and race and still get on those bikes and ride. What I need you to do, or tell your friends or whoever, it's tbexusaexperience.org. They're absolutely amazing human beings. The people are just, I mean, I've had Cora on my podcast twice and she's coming on soon and she's absolutely super fast out there on the track. It blew my mind. I was like, you kidding me right now? Yeah. So listen, go out there, free your mind, go have fun and smile again. For real. Get back on them two wheels. It's absolutely possible. It is tbexusaexperience.org. Big shout out to truthbetolapparel.com, Remix Racing Project, and last but not least, before I give Miranda the microphone so she can do the whole droppy thing, support your friends in the business. Don't order nothing off of Walmart and Amazon and blah, blah, all this Temu and all that. Listen, support your friends in the industry. It's super, super important to support all your friends, right? Whether you need bike parts, gears, helmets, undersuits, whatever it is, there's plenty of people that reach out to me. I can put you in contact with whoever you want to get in touch with or whatever your needs are. Mm-hmm. Keep it local. Keep it in the industry. Buy from your friends in the sport. Yes.
Support those that support the sport. Absolutely.
Yep. So I'm done running my mouth. Miranda, there you go. The floor is all yours.
Floor is mine. What do I do with it? Well, thank you for having me. Obviously, I have to give a big thanks to Royal Enfield and Built Train Race and all of the program supporters that make everything happen. Because without that, who knows where I'd be? It's a really cool opportunity. I'm really thankful for the trajectory that I'm on. So thank you to them, and thank you to everyone that's tuned in for the podcast.
I love it. And listen, before we're out of here, I will be at Mid Ohio, so I hope you guys show up to Mid Ohio. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be hanging out with my boy Chris and Miranda and bringing some Utz potato chips from them from down here from VA. I know Chris is watching because he just put a thing out, says couple of legends right there. Thanks, bro. I really appreciate you, but you, my friend, are the absolute legend. But thank you. And yes, I'm gonna bring you some Utz. And yeah, let's go. But anyway, on that note, I do have a podcast, I think. Man, I need to check my calendar. I got so many. I got one tomorrow. So I got Andrew Wade coming on, a buddy of mine from Florida, SFL Mini, Races in Moto America. You guys stay tuned.
Yeah, he's on a Hooligans bike, yeah? He did one at Laguna.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in a garage next to us.
And Twins. Yeah. He's absolutely awesome. And then I got the legend Nate Kern Thursday, and then Friday I wake up and I go to Mid Ohio. So you guys tune in, and this episode will be out on Spotify, iHeart, all that good stuff tomorrow. If you didn't catch it all, you can immediately go to my YouTube or my Facebook and watch it as soon as we're out. And on that note, guess what? We are out of here. We'll see you guys. Just give me 1 second. Hang on, let me end this.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.